All right, so you're gonna notice I'm in the same outfit as my introduction because I just dove right into it. Here we go. We're talking today about how to organize a design project. Now, there's a lot of details that go into this. Keep coming back for a lot of them. You can also head over into my paid program, the Interior Design Business Bakery. But for now, let's first talk about there's 4 phases to any project. You've got research, development, procurement, and installation, okay? Within these 4 phases, you can create sub-steps that go with it. Put them into Asana, okay? You've got your research, development, procurement, and installation. Put all of your sub-steps in there. Now we use Asana. You can use Monday, you can use ClickUp. There's a variety of different things you can use. Asana is very intuitive for us. You could use Trello. Asana, we use Asana. Within that, we put all of the sub-steps and who's responsible for it, and then you also build out a timeline. What I'm here to talk to you today about is gonna be some of the nitty-gritty of keeping some of these details organized. So, whether you use, and I made myself some notes just because I get distracted and I'd like to respect your time and have you taking some good notes yourself. We use Dropbox. You can use Dropbox, you can use Google Drive, you can use, is it OneNote, I think from Microsoft. There's a variety of different things. From Asana, we can actually click back and we can link back to Dropbox and Google Drive and all the things. So what we do is we consolidate our client's details into a folder. So you have your client folder. We can call it the Jones folder for now. That's the main folder, your main client folder. In this folder, you're going to have 5 subfolders. I'm going to tell you what those 5 subfolders are, and then I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about them in each subfolder, because some of the subfolders have subfolders. Okay, first subfolder is going to be before photos. Okay, so you've got the Jones project master folder, and then in there, number 1 is before photos. The second one is going to be client paperwork, okay? Your client paperwork, and then your third subfolder is going to be presentation materials. Your 4th subfolders will be your proposals and your purchases, and your 5th subfolder is going to be contractor details, okay? Every folder, every client folder is set up this exact same way. Why? Well, because we're running and gunning, whether you're a one-person shop, whether you're wanting to grow and scale, whether you have an assistant, a virtual assistant or something, if it's in the same place every single time, you're much more expedient finding it, retrieving it, directing somebody else to get it, whatever the case may be. You make money spending time designing. You don't make money hunting for stuff, okay? So before photos, just after your initial visit, you just drop everything in there. You do not need to organize them until you get paid, okay? So if it makes you crazy that they're not categorized by room, suck it up, buttercup, okay? Until you get paid, you don't need to go spend your time organizing it. What if they don't hire you? Then who cares? All you're gonna do is delete them anyway, okay? The second folder is going to be your client paperwork. This is going to include every iteration of your scope of work, okay, including the one that gets signed. It's going to include the contract copy, including the one that gets signed. It's going to include any notes that you took from your meet and greet or from your initial visit. Any notes that you might have taken, just drop it in there, okay? And then it's also going to include the budget worksheet. Okay, so that you can start pulling that together. Now, if you're wondering about these visits that I'm mentioning, the scope of work, the initial visit, the meet and greet, all of these things, if you check out my designedforthecreativemind.com, we oftentimes have workshops and I teach, it's called Rolling in the Dough. Okay, this is just a little plug. Rolling in the Dough, it's how to qualify, quote, and close high-end clients when you're baking the profits into the projects. It's a free 5-day workshop and it's pretty badass. So if you need more information, you might be able to find them in the notes of this recording, or go to www.designedforthecreativemind.com and see if there's a little link up there that says workshop. If there's not, just keep checking back. Oh, you can also text updates, text the word updates to 214-380-1969, and then you don't have to keep checking back. I'll email you, I'll text you. Don't worry, I'm not gonna spam you, but I will text you when the next workshop's coming up, if I have different summits and all the things. So, okay, enough of that commercial. First one is before photos. Second one is your client paperwork. The third one is gonna be your presentation materials. Okay, so what you're doing is you're consolidating details here so that you can create the presentation. So you're gonna have inspiration images and maybe notes that go with it. Drop it in here, get it off your phone. If you are on a computer-aided drafting program like Chief Architect, that's what we're on, we drop the plans in there, okay? So it can be the actual file, or it can be the images, whatever the case may be, so that if your computer dies, okay, maybe you do your drawings on a desktop and that dies, or maybe you do it on your laptop and it dies, it's still being saved in the cloud somewhere. So it's not just saved on your desktop or your laptop. Any notes from your client interviews, okay? So if you take them on your phone, or if you take them on an iPad, or whatever the case may be, you can save it. If you have an assistant that works with you, or if you have a team, any of their notes can be dropped in there as well. So everything is consolidated. And finally, when you start measuring and you're taking specific dimensions, you can drop them in there as well. Again, your thoughts are, as you're growing and as you're scaling, even if you're just thinking, I do not want to have a staff, but what if you have a virtual assistant? What if you have somebody who's doing your renderings or your floor planning for you? If you have it all consolidated here, you just give them access to that folder and they know where to go for it every single time, and they're not interrupting you, maybe at dinner, trying to find the dimensions on something, because you have it consolidated here. Finally, well, not finally, but number 4, proposals and purchases. It's pretty straightforward. The subfolders that go into proposals and purchases are going to be proposals and purchases. And then after that, you're going to have your contractor details. So anything that you need to have for your contractor, maybe it's a copy of his bid. Maybe it is the elevations that you need to give to him. It's the spec sheets for the appliances that you have selected with your clients that they've approved that he needs to go order, okay? Or charge him for and order it. And then construction documents. So if you're creating construction documents, you can just drop them in there and everything is consolidated. It seems pretty simple, doesn't it? It is. I call it, I should probably trademark it. I call it efficiently lazy. It's like once you get all of this organized, you can be lazy because you're already efficient. So there's your first little mini training. Keep checking back over here for more. Looking forward to it. It should be once a week. Cooking up success. Invite your friends. There are a lot of ugly houses, y'all. This is all about community over competition. There's plenty of work for all of us. So invite your designer friends. Let's elevate this industry as a whole, okay? And let's cook up success together.